So anyway, this new guy Richard's constantly putting me on the defensive, okay? When I can clearly tell, because I'm not an idiot, that he doesn't give one flying fuck about me, okay? Even when he says, oh, you look like shit in your videos, did something happen? He doesn't really care, he's just curious, okay? And I know that. And it's emotionally draining, especially since he just discovered me and has no idea, okay? The simple fact that he's thinking that I broke up with Joe because Joe and I only had missionary sex on Sundays. That's not true. We generally only had sex on Sundays, and no, it wasn't the best sex in the world. But we, so what? That's not why we broke up. You know what I mean? But the fact is, everything that this person is doing is snide. I see right through it, okay? And yet I go on the defensive and try, not Stoney, Phil, Colin, none of them have done that to me. And I don't now view them as my enemies. It's more that my take on this, is that this is my take, and I actually have proof of this, but not with anybody I considered even remotely like someone who liked me a little bit or something, It was with a guy named Michael. But my take on this is, why would Phil say to me, well, there's no way we can know up front if your videos are shitty or not, Laura, whether or not your videos are shitty. My take is that these men just feel compelled to watch my videos or listen to them or watch them at fast speed or whatnot, but to spend their time doing that, and then are like resenting me for creating the videos in the first place. Because otherwise, why would you say something to me like, well, there's no way we can tell up front if your video is shitty? What I've always been about, and I don't fucking care, okay? I never even expected to ever get the amount of views that I currently have. You know what I mean? Is that I just create videos about anything and everything. That's what I do. And my friends over the years can tell you, never, ever, ever. Every once in a while I might say, you really should check out this video that I just created, but never ever have I pressured my friends like, oh, did you watch my latest video? Did you? No, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. But to sit there and it's almost like you're blaming me because you find my video shitty. Well, I have videos I swear to God, I've had videos where I'm like, how come this video got so many views versus this video that has like 7 views total in like months? I have no idea. To me, there's never any rhyme or reason to it, and I've said that before. I'm like, Jesus, why is this video getting so many views whereas this one gets like none? There isn't any rhyme or reason to it. Okay, there isn't. But my friends aren't on any obligation to ever watch any of my videos. That's the thing. But to sit there and say shit to me and then to turn around like what do you think? What do these men think? They single-handedly created me out here and caused me to have all these views or whatnot, so now they can tell me what kind of videos to create? I just don't get it. I really, really don't. But it's a combination of a lot of things. Richard's putting me on the defensive constantly, okay? And then I see in comments that people I consider my friends are like laughing right along with Richard at me. That's number one. I get Richard like really saying, oh, you really think someone wants to see you in wet hair and talking about your dog taking a shit and your 20 pounds of squash or whatever? No one's holding a gun to your head to watch my videos. See what he's doing? And then I say, well, you don't have to watch them if you think that they're shitty. And then Phil pipes in with, well, how are we supposed to know up front whether or not they're shitty? And then I have Stoney groaning because I made a dancing video. Oh, no, not again. I have Colin saying, oh, who likes your towel videos except for Ryan Corkill? You know what I mean? So all of these combined all in one friggin' day, alright? It's like, what the fuck? You're acting like you're like my best friend or something, and I'm like gonna whine if you don't watch my videos or if whatever. But just like you're under no obligation to watch my videos, I'm under no obligation to cater to your desire to not see me create certain videos that you're under no obligation to watch. It's mind-blowing to me. Not that Richard did it, because Richard Richard just found me. He just found me, and from day one he's been picking at me or whatever. But I only block or don't allow to post comments that are extremely, like 100% derogatory towards me. So let me give you an example. Michael finds me about a month and a half ago, and I can prove this because the comments are out there. Alright? He starts off blah 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 whatever, getting on my case about the Chad Kruger thing, blah 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 whatever, okay? I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm having a back and forth with them. Because I give people the benefit of the doubt, okay? Until they, you know, show their true colors. And then, one day, he's like, I can't believe I can't stop watching these videos. They're the most boring, blah, 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 whatever. And I still posted that comment. Because it's not my fault if you can't help watching my videos. That's ridiculous. And then the next comment I got from me was the most vicious, derogatory, just right up there with the worst of any of my enemies I've ever posted. But you know, that don't post. Okay, that I don't allow to post. That they delete anyway, and that just show up in my Hotmail that I'm not going to read anymore. I don't even know why I was reading them. Why am I going to do that to myself? You know? I've gotten my proof that my enemies, Miss C, are actually, this particular one that poses as different avatars, including as Chad and Avril and everything else, okay? Reads the comments, too. Even writes things like Stoney, like saying Team Laura will mimic that. Team Laura reads the comments, will comment, will actually write me derogatory things in regards to the comments. Makes me think that he or she's even reading every friggin' comment, okay? But that's my enemies we're talking about, okay? And then there's the new guy that I can clearly see from day one is, you know, views me as whatever. I could see it, okay? But unlike has ever been the case with Stoney, Phillip, and Colin, you know, it's draining for me to be constantly on the defensive with this Richard guy. It's draining me, okay? So I don't have to do it. I don't have to interact with anybody. But that Michael guy actually was pissed off because he's like, well, why am I watching these videos? And he was pissed off at me because he's watching my videos and can't help it. And then he got really vicious with me, but he at least left me alone. He never posted another comment after that. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what you meant in the text, see, but I don't. You said something about 3 of them. I don't know if you're talking about how my enemy poses as different people, or if you're talking about Phillip, Colin, and Stoney. But I don't hate them. I'm not sitting here thinking they're horrible people. What I think is that they're just. I don't know. Particularly what Philip wrote me yesterday. It's like, well, how the hell do we know whether or not your video is shitty? And then Colin and Philip both, and I'm lumping Stoney in with them just because he said, oh, groans because I'm making another dancing video. But I don't hate any of them. You know what I mean? I just don't want to deal with it. I don't have to. You know, that's why I said, fine, I'll approve your comments without reading them, and you can make fun of me amongst yourselves like you were doing yesterday. And I shouldn't lump Stoney in with that because he actually wasn't. It was Philip and Colin with Richard. And I was reading it yesterday, and I was getting upset. Because that's not what I expect from Philip, Colin, or Stone. That's all. Like you said, see, you know, they're not really, they wouldn't do that if they were really like my friends or whatever, you know. But unfortunately for me, you know, if I let someone get in like that, where I'm trusting them a little bit, you know, then they have the power to hurt me. My enemies, no. This new guy, Richard, no. Had zero power to hurt me. If you are not somebody that matters to me, you don't have any power to hurt me. Why do you think my cousin was able to hurt me so badly? How she turned on me. Why do you think my ex-roommate Bobby, how he turned on me? Because I had feelings for them. You know what I mean? And it's not like, but yes, I was genuinely feeling like those three, you know, aren't sitting there and laughing at me or whatnot. But after yesterday, you know, but again, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like me for me to approve your comments. But I'm not going to approve comments that are as vicious as the ones that I put in my hassle folder. No. They're like beyond vicious. I've only shared some of them with you. Some of them I wouldn't even share. That's how cruel and derogatory and vicious they are. I mean, above and beyond. And I'm not even going to read them anymore. I don't even know why I ever read them to begin with. I think that derives from my insatiable curiosity. I just wanted to see it. Now I'm not going to read them. Fuck it. But if it's not enjoyable for me to interact with my viewers who post comments, why am I going to do it? I'm not under any obligation. I'm not under any obligation. I'm not lying when I said I've genuinely enjoyed my back and forth with those three. Particularly with Stoney, who was the first one. Particularly with Stoney, who I felt all along, you know, actually, you know, did care about me. Again, see, it's like, well, how do you expect them? They don't really care about you. They're just behind a screen, blah, blah. But I don't mean that in the way like you... It's a different kind when, you know, it's different. It's automatically has to be different, even between, you know, me and Trouble, because I don't know anything about her, and she knows everything about me. So when these people who meet me via my channel, when I care about me, it's in a different kind of way, because we're not in person, and we're not, like, you know. Now, things between me and C are very, very different, because we often talk on the phone. And she's talked on the phone with my mother. And you know what I mean? And I know, you know, I know tons about her, just like she knows tons about me. So that creates a bond, you know. It's not just, I have viewers that I don't know one damn thing about Blanche from France, who's been, I mean, he is the one that years ago, you know, you're beautiful and you're brilliant, so kind, and just, he recently, you know, wrote a comment to me a few months ago or something, I guess showing that he still remembers me and might, you know, watch my videos here or there from time to time, and, you know, that's genuine caring. And I appreciate it beyond belief. But again, just like with my case with just like with Trouble, I know nothing about Blanche. Nothing. So it's kind of like, it's like a one-way street, you know? But I recently learned that Phil and Stoney, I guess, are friends. Phil told me that, okay? And Stoney introduced Phil to my channel. And Phil's gonna sit there, and it's almost like they're indignant, or they're just like, what? Like, how dare you be creating videos that offend us, or that are gonna waste our time watching or whatnot. That's really unfair to me. That's so unfair. But I watched it play out yesterday. I watched Richard jump at anything that even indicated for a second, you know, that of my any of my three male buddies, you know, siding with him or laughing at what he's saying or about me, that's whatever, and then, you know, him saying to me, well, I guess she doesn't care about fan appreciation. Why? Because I create videos that don't appeal to you, but do appeal to some of my other fans? I mean, that's just not fair to say that to me. It's ridiculous. It's like, it's snide and it's ridiculous, and it's like, you know, and I don't need it. And I don't understand it, and I don't, like, what do you care? Seriously. That's why Frankie and Ryan and C came to my defense. It's like, you know, saying, you go girl, you be you. She said it in text too. You know, that's why people love you, because you're just yourself and whatnot. But I can't understand what gives these men the right to think, I mean, you know, what makes these men think they have the right to tell me what kind of videos I should create, you know? And to get, like whatever about it. And when they act like that, then I start thinking, you know, probably justifiably. Because come on. Just like C said, you know, this is just a computer screen, it's just whatever. And I start thinking, they're just fucking with me. They just view me as a joke and whatnot. And if that's going to be the case, then just, you know, either don't watch my videos at all, or become one of the people that watches those videos to ridicule me. You know? But I'm not going to interact with you. Why am I going to put myself through that shit? You know? And does this make me sad? Yeah. It does. Because it doesn't happen that often, you know. But I also think that I think I create so many videos that they, you know, I think sometimes maybe someone that you know, likes me a little bit might feel like, you know, just not feel obligated because I'm obligating them, but just feel curious or compelled to watch the damn video. And then going to try and blame me if it's, you know, as Phil said, a shitty video. It's like, that's not rational. That's like ridiculous. But it's not worth it to me to, you know, to develop even the tiniest bond with some people. You're going to turn on me like that. And yes, when you're getting on my case about how I shouldn't create, you know, then you're turning on me. You're just like, so maybe I did the three of them a favor by getting upset with them, because maybe they've, like C said, you know, I'm surprised they hung out, they stuck with your channel so long anyway, you know. But I don't hate them, and I don't, and I generally enjoyed the back and forth that I had with them over these past, how many months, I don't know. Stony was the longest. Wow. But if I feel like you like me a little bit, and then I feel like you're turning on me for pretty much no reason, even if it's not, you know, in a vicious manner, it's still just, it's like, why are you doing it at all? You have no right to tell me what kind of videos to create, number one, and you're not under any obligation to watch any of my videos. But even when I make that rational argument, see, I made that rational argument, I put it out there. I wrote it in a comment thing, you're not in any obligation to watch any of my videos, and then Phil writes, well, you know, or, oh no, I said, well, if you don't like my videos, just don't watch them or whatnot. And then Phil's like, well, turns around with, well, come on, Laura, we can't tell if it's a shitty video right away. I like Robbie Sherrard, but I like a lot of his videos. I like some of his videos way better than I've liked other ones. Of course, his videos are very short, but we go back to the same thing. Even people who become the closest to me, C can vouch for this. Trouble can vouch for it. I never once, ever once say, bug my friend, like, oh, did you watch this video? Did you watch that video? Did you watch this? No, because I'm not like that. I just create these fucking videos because we already know why I create them. And then people can watch them, not watch them. If I feel like you are genuinely interested in me and knowing about me, I have no problem having a back and forth with you and answering questions. But I did not even remotely get that feeling from Richard. He just constantly puts me on the defensive. Okay? And Stoney and Colin and Philip never did that. But yesterday, Colin and Phil were like going along with Richard in like just nitpicking at me. I don't need it. I don't need it. You know, my ex-shelter friend, that black woman who I genuinely cared about, okay? About whom I genuinely cared, okay? And she was right in that, you know, but see, in our friendship there were different dynamics, okay? I'm admittedly much needier. And she even joked about it. She's like, I knew from day one you were high maintenance, blah, 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 whatever, okay? So, she's not like that, so she's not going to need something like that from me, okay? I was constantly helping her out financially and going above and beyond, not with massive amounts of money, but with my time, with always traveling far to her. One time she really needed, you know, like $20, and I incur the expense of getting to her via various forms of public transportation, and she really needed the money, and I traveled to her. It wasn't a planned outing, just to lend her that money, okay? Etc., etc. But she started nitpicking at me. Nitpicking at me regarding my basic personality. Meanwhile, is she so perfect? She wanted to literally kill someone who looked at her crosswise, okay? Okay? So I'm not like that, but I get over emotional or whatever, and she's like, I can't remember what she did. And then I'm thinking, you have health problems and you're like killing yourself with cigarettes. You have violence in you that you admit, and you say, you know, I could have actually killed this person for saying something to me wrong. It was a family member. And I said, well, you would go to jail, and what about your family and whatever? And she was like, I wasn't thinking that way, see? Yet she's going to nitpick at me over whatever. My way of dealing with people in public offended her or upset her enough to nitpick at me. And then she's like, I said, but all right, well, you smoke cigarettes and you're destroying your health, whatever. And she's like, well, and then she goes, well, at least I'm enjoying myself. But again, I'm using this as an in-person example, okay? I am keeping her financially afloat, like paying on her cell phone the $50-something a month and whatever, just small amounts of money. But in the end, I take her out to eat, do whatever. It added up. It added up. It added up to over $1,000. Okay, but whatever. The fact is, what did I start thinking with her? I started thinking, you know, you're like nitpicking at me and whatnot, is starting to make me feel like you don't really like me, but you do like that I keep, you know, giving you or lending you money or take whatever. You see? I wasn't getting that feeling from her that she genuinely cared about me the way that I most definitely genuinely cared about her. Okay? Now that's an in-person example, but it's an example where in the end, and with Joe's 100% blessing, believe me, because no matter what I said, even in this woman's defense, he's like, Laura, you know, as far as he's concerned, you know, he saw right through her. Even when I shared her emails to me in the end or whatever, he didn't care. He just didn't like her and didn't care. Okay? It had nothing to do with the color of her skin. It was the way he could see things. Joe's very, very smart. You know, he saw things that I perhaps was blind to because I genuinely cared about her and wanted to believe she cared about me. That's the same thing that happened with my cousin and the same thing that happened with Bobby. Okay? Now online here, it's a different